In life, there are certain skills that can completely transform the way we navigate our days and shape our future. These aren't just skills for getting ahead. They're essential tools for creating a life of fulfillment, success, and growth. But what are they? What are the skills that everyone needs to develop in order to thrive? Today, we're diving into 10 critical skills that will help you not only survive, but excel in life. From mastering time management to building unshakable confidence, each skill is designed to help you take control, face challenges head on, and make the most of every moment. If you've ever wondered how to achieve lasting success, or how to overcome the obstacles holding you back, you're about to find out. Stick around because the journey to mastering these skills starts now, and it could change everything for you. Number 1, master discipline to build a productive life. Discipline is the foundation of everything you want in life. It's the bridge between where you are and where you could be. Without it, talent is wasted, potential is ignored, and dreams stay locked away. But with discipline, the impossible starts looking possible. The problem is, most people don't want to hear about discipline because it sounds like work. It sounds like sacrifice. It sounds like something that takes too much effort. But here's the truth. Without discipline, life will control you instead of you controlling your life. Discipline is what separates those who make things happen from those who sit back and watch. It's what determines whether you wake up excited to take charge of your day, or whether you drag yourself out of bed, feeling like life is nothing more than a routine you have to survive. You see, discipline isn't about punishment. It's not about forcing yourself into something miserable. It's about creating a structure that frees you. It's about taking control instead of waiting for luck, circumstances, or someone else to decide your fate. So how do you master discipline? You start by making a decision. You decide that your life is worth more than excuses. You decide that your time matters. You decide that every action you take moves you towards something greater or keeps you stuck. And that decision, that's where it all begins. Because discipline is not something you're born with. It's something you build. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. The less you use it, the weaker it becomes. And the people who are disciplined, they weren't just gifted with it. They trained it. They worked on it. They made it a habit. The first step to mastering discipline is controlling your mind. Most people think discipline starts with their actions. No, it starts with what's going on in your head. If your mind is weak, your actions will follow. If your thoughts are lazy, your results will be too. That's why you have to train your thinking. You have to tell yourself, this is what I'm going to do, no matter how I feel. Because feelings change. Motivation comes and goes. But discipline stays when you decide that your emotions will not dictate your actions. The second step is setting standards for yourself. If you accept laziness, if you accept procrastination, if you accept distractions, then don't be surprised when you look around and see that your life is exactly the same as it was last year. Your standards determine the level of success you reach. If you set low standards, you will live a low standard life. If you raise them, you will rise with them. Discipline is about saying, this is who I am, this is what I do, and I don't negotiate with myself. The third step, structure. You can't be disciplined in a chaotic environment. If your life is full of distractions, if your day has no order, if you go to bed without a plan for tomorrow, you're setting yourself up for failure. Successful people don't leave their lives to chance. They don't wake up and hope the day goes well. They decide ahead of time what needs to be done, and then they follow through. You need a system. You need a routine. You need structure that guides your day, so you don't waste time wondering what to do next. You should never have to ask yourself, should I work out today? Should I focus on my goals today? Should I give my best effort today? Those questions should already be answered. The answer is always yes. When you structure your day around discipline, you eliminate the chance for excuses. Now let's talk about the hard part, doing things when you don't feel like it. This is where most people fail. They start strong, but then the excitement fades. They wake up one day and say, I don't feel like it today. And that's the moment discipline either wins or loses. Because discipline is not about how you feel. It's about what you do regardless of how you feel. You have to remind yourself that the effort you put in today determines what your life looks like tomorrow. Every time you choose to be disciplined, you're training yourself to be stronger. Every time you make an excuse, you're training yourself to be weaker. You're either moving forward or staying stuck. Another key to discipline is accountability. Most people fail because they keep their goals to themselves. They don't tell anyone what they're trying to do because they don't want to be embarrassed if they don't follow through. But accountability forces you to stay on track. When you surround yourself with people who hold you to a higher standard, you can't afford to slack off. Find someone who pushes you. Find someone who doesn't let you settle for mediocrity. If you're only accountable to yourself, it's easy to let things slide. But when you have someone checking on your progress, you think twice before skipping out on your commitments. Now, discipline is not just about work. It's not just about grinding and hustling every second of the day. It's also about how you take care of yourself. Discipline means getting enough sleep so you can function at your best. It means eating the right foods so your body has the energy to perform. It means taking care of your mental health so stress doesn't take over your life. Because what good is working hard if your body and mind are falling apart? Most people think discipline means giving things up. No, discipline means gaining control. It means choosing long-term success over short-term comfort. It means taking actions today that your future self will thank you for. It means living intentionally instead of being pushed around by distractions and temptations. And here's the reality. Mastering discipline is not easy. It's not comfortable. It's not always fun, but it is worth it. Because the moment you take control of your habits, your routines, and your actions, you take control of your future. Success doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you commit to doing what needs to be done every single day, whether you feel like it or not. So what's stopping you? What excuse have you been telling yourself? Are you waiting for motivation? Are you hoping things will get easier? Because they won't. You have to decide. You have to commit. You have to say, this is my life, and I am in control. From this moment on, don't let laziness win. Don't let distractions steal your time. Don't let another day go by where you let excuses dictate your future. Set a new standard for yourself. Be the person who shows up. Be the person who stays consistent. Be the person who refuses to quit. That's discipline. And once you master it, you'll realize that nothing is out of reach. Number 2, develop emotional intelligence to handle life's challenges. It determines how you react to challenges, how you handle setbacks, how you deal with people, and ultimately how successful you become. The truth is, life will test you. People will disappoint you. Situations will push you to your limits. But the difference between those who crumble under pressure and those who rise above it is emotional intelligence. Most people let their emotions control them. They let anger make their decisions. They let fear stop them from taking action. They let frustration ruin their opportunities. But those who master emotional intelligence, they don't let emotions dictate their lives. They learn to control their reactions. They learn to manage stress. They learn to stay calm even when everything around them is falling apart. And that skill, that is what gives you power in life. The first step to developing emotional intelligence is self-awareness. You have to understand yourself before you can control yourself. Most people go through life reacting without thinking. They feel angry, so they lash out. They feel sad, so they shut down. They feel anxious, so they avoid problems. But if you don't stop to understand what triggers these emotions, you will always be at their mercy. You have to ask yourself, why do I react this way? What is really causing this emotion? Is it the situation, or is it something deeper? Because once you identify the source, you can take back control. When you become self-aware, you stop being a victim of your emotions. You recognize that just because you feel something doesn't mean you have to act on it. You may feel frustrated, but that doesn't mean you have to yell. You may feel afraid, but that doesn't mean you have to run. You may feel hurt, but that doesn't mean you have to hold a grudge. Emotional intelligence gives you the power to choose your response, instead of letting emotions dictate your behavior. The second step is emotional control. Life will always bring stress, pressure, and unexpected challenges. The question is, how do you handle them? Do you let stress overwhelm you? Do you let pressure break you? Do you let negativity consume you? Because if you don't control your emotions, they will control you. The key to emotional control is learning to pause. When something upsets you, don't react immediately. Take a moment, breathe, step back and analyze the situation. Is this worth getting angry over? Will this matter a year from now? What is the best response for the outcome I want? Most of the time, the things that upset us in the moment are insignificant in the long run. But if you react without thinking, you can make a bad situation worse. Think about it. How many times have people ruined relationships because they spoke out of anger? How many times have opportunities been lost because someone let emotions take over? How many times have people sabotaged their own success because they reacted instead of responding? Emotional control is about making choices that serve you, not choices that hurt you. The third step is empathy. Emotional intelligence is not just about managing your emotions, it's about understanding others. If you want to succeed in life, you have to know how to deal with people, and that starts with empathy. Most people listen to respond, not to understand. They judge before they even hear the full story. They assume instead of asking questions. But people who develop emotional intelligence know that everyone has their struggles. Everyone is dealing with something. And if you take the time to understand people, you can build stronger relationships, resolve conflicts, and influence others in a positive way. Empathy doesn't mean agreeing with everyone. It doesn't mean letting people walk all over you. It means seeing situations from different perspectives. It means asking, why does this person feel this way? What are they going through? What is driving their actions? Because when you understand people, you can communicate better. You can handle conflicts with maturity. You can navigate difficult situations without making them worse. The fourth step is learning to manage stress. One of the biggest reasons people struggle in life is because they don't know how to handle stress. Stress is inevitable. Challenges are inevitable. But what matters is how you deal with them. Some people shut down under pressure. Some people turn to unhealthy habits. Some people let stress destroy their focus, their health, and their relationships. But emotionally intelligent people, they train themselves to handle stress in a way that makes them stronger. Managing stress starts with knowing what you can and can't control. So many people waste energy worrying about things they have no power over. They stress about what others think of them. They stress about the past. They stress about things that might not even happen. But stress should be reserved for the things you can change. If you can do something about it, take action. If you can't, let it go. One of the best ways to manage stress is through daily habits, exercise, meditation, deep breathing, journaling. These are all tools that help you stay in control. If you don't train yourself to manage stress, stress will manage you. It will dictate your mood, your health, and your decision-making. But if you learn to stay calm under pressure, you become unstoppable. Another key to emotional intelligence is resilience. Life will not always be fair. You will face setbacks. You will deal with failure. You will experience pain. But the people who succeed in life are not the ones who avoid challenges. They are the ones who know how to bounce back. They don't let failure define them. They don't let disappointments break them. They don't let obstacles stop them. Instead, they use every setback as a lesson. They ask, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? How can I turn this into something positive? Resilience is what keeps you moving forward, even when life knocks you down. It's what helps you stay strong, even when things don't go your way. It's what separates those who quit from those who keep going. If you want to develop emotional intelligence, you have to train yourself to keep moving forward no matter what. Now let's talk about controlling negative emotions. Everyone experiences anger, frustration, and sadness. The problem is not the emotion itself. The problem is how you handle it. Some people bottle up their emotions until they explode. Some people take their emotions out on others. Some people let negativity consume them. But emotional intelligence is about finding healthy ways to deal with emotions. If something upsets you, address it in a productive way. If you're feeling overwhelmed, talk to someone. If you're struggling, find a solution instead of dwelling on the problem. Emotions are a natural part of life, but they should never control your life. Another key to emotional intelligence is confidence. People with low emotional intelligence often seek validation from others. They let other people's opinions dictate their self-worth. They get defensive over criticism. But emotionally intelligent people, they know who they are. They don't need approval from anyone. They don't let criticism break them. They don't let negativity shake their confidence. Confidence comes from knowing yourself. It comes from believing in your abilities. It comes from understanding that your worth is not determined by anyone else. When you develop emotional intelligence, you stop needing external validation. You trust yourself. You make decisions based on logic, not fear. You stand by your values even when others don't agree. That kind of confidence makes you powerful. Finally, emotional intelligence is about learning to let go. Too many people hold on to anger. They hold on to grudges. They hold on to past mistakes. But holding on to negativity only hurts you. If you want to grow, you have to let go of the things that no longer serve you. Forgive people, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. Let go of the past, not because it wasn't painful, but because your future is more important. Mastering emotional intelligence is not about suppressing emotions. It's about understanding them, controlling them, and using them in a way that benefits you. When you develop this skill, you become stronger, wiser, and more successful. You learn to handle life's challenges without losing yourself. And that is the kind of power that changes everything. Number 3, cultivate resilience to bounce back stronger. Life is not designed to be easy. At some point, you will face difficulties, obstacles, and failures that test your strength. You will experience moments that push you to your limits, moments that make you question whether you have what it takes to keep going. But what separates those who succeed from those who give up is one thing: resilience. The ability to rise after every fall, to keep moving forward no matter what, to use setbacks as fuel instead of letting them break you. That is what resilience is all about. Resilience is not about avoiding pain or pretending life is perfect. It's about training yourself to handle whatever comes your way. It's about developing the mental toughness to keep going when everything inside you wants to stop. Most people let adversity define them. They let failure crush their confidence. They let disappointment destroy their motivation. But resilient people, they use every hardship as a stepping stone. They understand that every challenge holds a lesson. They know that strength is built in the struggle, not in comfort. The first step to building resilience is shifting your perspective on adversity. Most people see challenges as roadblocks, as reasons to quit. They complain. They make excuses. They focus on the unfairness of life. But resilient people see obstacles differently. They don't ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Instead, they ask, "What is this teaching me? How can I grow from this? How can I turn this into an opportunity?" Because the reality is, struggle is necessary for growth. You don't become stronger by avoiding difficulty. You become stronger by facing it, enduring it, and coming out the other side even better than before. Pain is a powerful teacher, but only if you're willing to learn from it. Every time life knocks you down, you have two choices. You can let it break you, or you can let it build you. Resilient people don't waste time feeling sorry for themselves. They don't sit in self-pity, waiting for things to get easier. They take responsibility for their lives. They understand that life is not about what happens to you. It's about how you respond. And the way you respond determines everything. The second step to resilience is emotional toughness. If you want to handle life's challenges, you have to stop letting emotions control you. So many people let fear hold them back. They let doubt keep them from taking action. They let frustration make them quit too soon. But emotions are temporary. They come and go. What matters is your ability to push forward even when you don't feel like it. Resilient people don't make decisions based on emotions. They make decisions based on their goals. They keep moving forward even when they feel afraid, even when they feel exhausted, even when they feel like giving up. Because they know that success is not built on comfort. It's built on persistence. The third step to resilience is learning to embrace discomfort. Most people avoid struggle. They seek the easy path, the path of least resistance. But here's the truth. The easy path leads nowhere. Growth only happens outside of your comfort zone. If you never challenge yourself, you will never become stronger. If you never face difficulty, you will never develop resilience. You have to learn to be comfortable with discomfort. You have to stop running from struggle and start facing it head on. Think about the strongest people you know. They didn't become strong by avoiding hardship. They became strong because they endured it. They pushed through when others gave up. They stayed committed when things got tough. They kept going when there was no motivation, no immediate reward, no guarantee of success. That's what resilience is, doing what needs to be done, no matter how hard it gets. Another key to resilience is learning to control your thoughts. Your mind is either your greatest weapon or your biggest weakness. If you allow negativity to consume you, if you constantly tell yourself you're not good enough, that you'll never succeed, that life is unfair, you will stay stuck. Your thoughts create your reality. If you think like a victim, you will live like a victim. But if you train your mind to be strong, to see challenges as opportunities, to focus on solutions instead of problems, you will become unstoppable. Resilient people don't dwell on what went wrong. They don't waste time over analyzing failures. They acknowledge what happened, they learn from it, and they move forward. They understand that setbacks are temporary, but quitting makes failure permanent. They know that life will never be perfect, but their response to adversity determines everything. The next step to building resilience is taking action, no matter how small. When life knocks you down, the worst thing you can do is stay down. When you feel overwhelmed, the best thing you can do is take action. Even if it's just a small step, even if it's just one move in the right direction, action creates momentum, and momentum builds resilience. Most people wait for the perfect moment to start again. They wait until they feel ready. They wait until things get easier. But resilient people know that waiting is a trap. There is never a perfect time. There is never a guarantee that things will be easier. The only way forward is to take action, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. Resilience also comes from learning how to handle failure. Most people fear failure so much that they never take risks. They never step outside their comfort zone. They never go after what they truly want. But resilient people see failure differently. They know that failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of success. Every failure is a lesson. Every mistake is a stepping stone. Every setback is an opportunity to grow. If you are afraid of failure, you will never achieve anything great. If you avoid risks, you will never reach your full potential. Resilient people don't let failure stop them. They don't take it personally. They don't let it define them. They learn from it. They adjust their strategy, and they keep moving forward, because they know that every successful person in history has failed, and the only real failure is giving up. Another crucial element of resilience is mental endurance. Life is a marathon, not a sprint. You have to train your mind to keep going even when progress is slow, even when the results aren't immediate, even when you feel like nothing is working. So many people quit too soon because they don't see instant results. But resilient people understand that success takes time. They stay focused. They stay committed. They keep putting in the work, day after day, knowing that every small step adds up. Resilience is also about learning how to protect your energy. You cannot afford to waste time on negativity, on toxic people, on things that drain you. If you surround yourself with people who complain, who make excuses, who dwell on problems instead of solutions, their mindset will rub off on you. If you focus on everything that's going wrong instead of what you can do to make things right, you will never build resilience. You have to guard your mind. You have to choose what you give your attention to. You have to make sure that the people around you are helping you grow, not holding you back. Resilient people are intentional about their environment. They make sure they are surrounded by those who inspire them, challenge them, and push them to be better. Lastly, resilience is about believing in yourself, even when no one else does. There will be times when people doubt you. There will be times when nothing seems to be working. There will be moments when giving up feels like the easiest option. But resilient people don't rely on external validation. They don't wait for permission to keep going. They don't let other people's doubts become their reality. They believe in themselves. They trust their ability to figure things out. They know that as long as they refuse to quit, they will eventually succeed. No matter what you are going through, you have the ability to rise above it. No matter how many times you have fallen, you have the strength to get back up. Life will challenge you, but you are capable of handling anything that comes your way. Train yourself to be resilient. Train yourself to be unshakable. Because when you develop resilience, nothing can break you. You will not just survive your challenges. You will thrive because of them. Number 4, improve communication to connect with others. The way you communicate determines the quality of your relationships, your opportunities, and your success in life. Communication is not just about speaking. It's about how well you connect with people, how effectively you convey your thoughts, and how deeply you understand others. If you cannot communicate clearly, you will struggle in every area of life. You will struggle to build meaningful relationships, to express your ideas, to influence people, and to create the life you want. But when you master communication, you unlock the ability to inspire, to persuade, to connect, and to build powerful relationships that elevate your life. Most people assume that communication is just about talking, but that's only half of it. Real communication is about connection. It's about understanding others and making them feel understood. It's about creating a bridge between your thoughts and the minds of others in a way that resonates, influences, and inspires action. The problem is, most people don't think about how they communicate. They assume that as long as they are speaking, they are getting their message across. But communication is not about what you say, it's about how it is received. It doesn't matter how much you talk if no one understands you. It doesn't matter how intelligent you sound if your words don't connect. The most powerful communicators in the world understand this. They don't just speak to be heard, they speak to be understood. They speak to make an impact. They adjust their tone, their body language, and their message based on who they are speaking to. They make sure that what they say actually reaches the mind and heart of the listener. If you want to improve your communication, the first step is learning to listen. Most people don't listen to understand. They listen to respond. They are too busy thinking about what they are going to say next, instead of actually paying attention. But real communication starts with deep listening. When you truly listen, you don't just hear words, you understand emotions, intentions, and unspoken thoughts. You pick up on subtle details that most people miss. And when people feel heard, they feel valued. They open up. They trust you more. They connect with you on a deeper level. Great communicators are not just great speakers. They are exceptional listeners. They make people feel seen, understood, and important. And that is the key to real influence. If you want to connect with people, you have to give them your full attention. Put away distractions. Stop thinking about what you're going to say next. Be fully present. When you do this, people will naturally be drawn to you. They will want to share more with you. They will feel a deeper sense of connection, because in a world where everyone is trying to talk, very few people actually listen. The second key to powerful communication is clarity. If you cannot explain something clearly, you do not truly understand it. Many people speak in a way that is confusing, vague, or overly complicated. They assume that using big words or complex ideas makes them sound more intelligent. But the truth is, the best communicators make things simple. They break down complex ideas in a way that anyone can understand. They don't try to impress with jargon or unnecessary words. They aim to make their message as clear and impactful as possible. When you communicate, ask yourself, is my message clear? Would a child understand what I'm saying? If someone were to repeat what I just said, would they say it the way I intended? Because if your message isn't clear, it won't connect. It won't stick. People won't remember it, and they won't act on it. The best communicators know how to say more with fewer words. They focus on impact, not on sounding impressive. Another major factor in communication is body language. Words are only a small part of how people perceive you. The way you carry yourself, the way you use your hands, the way you maintain eye contact. All of this communicates more than your words ever could. If your words say one thing but your body says another, people will believe your body language. You can say, I'm confident, but if your posture is weak, your voice is uncertain, and your eyes are darting around, no one will believe you. If you want to communicate powerfully, you have to align your words, your tone, and your body language. Confidence is another major element of effective communication. People are drawn to those who speak with certainty. When you hesitate, when your voice is weak, when you sound unsure of yourself, people will doubt you. But when you speak with confidence, people believe in what you say. They trust you. They take you seriously. The key to confidence is preparation. The more you know about what you're talking about, the more certain you will sound. If you are unsure about your message, people will sense it. But if you truly understand what you're saying, if you believe in your words, that belief will transfer to others. Empathy is another powerful communication skill. If you want to connect with people, you have to understand their perspective. You have to put yourself in their shoes. You have to see the world through their eyes. The mistake many people make is that they only think about what they want to say. They don't consider how the other person feels, what they might be going through, or how their words will be received. But the best communicators tailor their message based on their audience. They consider emotions, backgrounds, and different viewpoints. They don't just talk, they connect. The words you choose also matter. Words have power. They can inspire or destroy, uplift or discourage, bring people closer or push them away. The way you phrase something can change its entire meaning. If you criticize, judge, or use harsh words, people will resist you. But if you frame things in a way that is encouraging and constructive, people will be more open to what you have to say. Pay attention to the words you use. Choose words that build bridges, not walls. Choose words that strengthen relationships, not weaken them. Another essential part of communication is knowing when to pause. Silence is one of the most powerful tools in communication. Most people are uncomfortable with silence, so they rush to fill it. But the best communicators use pauses to create emphasis, to allow people to absorb information, and to add weight to their words. When you pause, people pay attention. It signals confidence. It makes what you say more powerful. To communicate effectively, you also need to adapt to different situations. You cannot speak the same way to everyone. You need to adjust your tone, your choice of words, and your approach based on who you're speaking to. What works in one situation may not work in another. Flexibility is key. The more adaptable you are, the more effectively you will connect with different types of people. The ability to tell a compelling story is another skill that separates great communicators from the rest. Facts and information alone don't inspire people. Stories do. People remember stories. They connect with emotions, struggles, and triumphs. If you want to make an impact, learn how to tell stories that move people, that make them feel something, that inspire them to take action. The final key to improving communication is practice. Like any other skill, communication takes effort. You cannot become a great communicator overnight. You have to practice. You have to observe how people respond to you. You have to refine your message. You have to experiment with different approaches. The more you practice, the better you become. Your ability to communicate will determine how far you go in life. It will influence your career, your relationships, and your success in every area. Communication is not just about words. It's about connection, influence, and impact. Master it, and you will have the power to inspire, to persuade, and to create stronger relationships. Improve your communication, and you improve your life. Number 5, practice self-reflection to continuously grow and evolve. It is the process of looking inward, examining your thoughts, actions, and experiences, and using that awareness to improve yourself. Without self-reflection, you remain stuck in the same patterns, repeating the same mistakes, and failing to evolve. Growth doesn't happen by chance. It happens through conscious effort. It happens when you take the time to analyze who you are, what you've done, and where you are going. If you don't reflect, you don't learn. If you don't learn, you don't grow. And if you don't grow, you remain stagnant, trapped in the same reality, with no real progress. Most people go through life on autopilot. They wake up, go through their routines, face challenges, make choices, and move on without ever stopping to analyze their actions. They don't ask themselves why they do what they do. They don't examine their beliefs, their habits, or their thought patterns. And because of this, they remain stuck in cycles that do not serve them. But those who actively engage in self-reflection break free from these cycles. They gain a deeper understanding of themselves. They recognize their weaknesses and strengths. They learn from their experiences and use that knowledge to make better decisions. They become more intentional with their time, their energy, and their direction in life. True self-reflection requires honesty. It's not about just looking at the good parts of yourself. It's about confronting your flaws, your mistakes, and your limitation. It's about taking full responsibility for your life and acknowledging where you need to improve. Many people avoid self-reflection because they are afraid of what they might find. They don't want to face their insecurities, their failures, or the uncomfortable truths about themselves. But growth is only possible when you have the courage to face reality. If you ignore your flaws, they will continue to control you. If you don't acknowledge your mistakes, you will keep repeating them. But when you take an honest look at yourself, you empower yourself to change. You gain the ability to take control of your destiny instead of being a prisoner of your past. One of the most powerful ways to practice self-reflection is through journaling. Writing down your thoughts, experiences, and emotions allows you to see patterns that you might not notice otherwise. It gives you clarity on your inner world and helps you track your growth over time. When you write, you force yourself to slow down and process your experiences on a deeper level. You begin to understand why you feel the way you do, why you act the way you do, and what changes you need to make. Journaling isn't just about recording events. It's about analyzing them. It's about asking yourself questions like, what did I do well today? What could I have done better? What lessons did I learn from this situation? How can I apply those lessons moving forward? Another essential part of self-reflection is questioning your beliefs. Most people go through life operating on beliefs they have never examined. They accept ideas, opinions, and ways of thinking simply because they were taught them. But just because you believe something doesn't mean it's true. Some of your beliefs might be limiting you. They might be holding you back from reaching your full potential. If you want to grow, you have to challenge your assumptions. You have to ask yourself, why do I believe this? Where did this belief come from? Is this belief serving me, or is it keeping me stuck? The people who evolve the most in life are the ones who are willing to let go of outdated, limiting beliefs and replace them with more empowering ones. Self-reflection also involves analyzing your habits. Your daily habits shape your future. Every action you take, no matter how small, is either bringing you closer to your goals or pulling you further away. If you never take the time to reflect on your habits, you won't realize which ones are helping you and which ones are hurting you. You have to ask yourself, what are my habits? Are they aligned with the person I want to become? Are they leading me to success, or are they keeping me stuck? The most successful people in the world constantly assess and refine their habits. They don't waste time on things that don't serve them. They eliminate distractions. They replace bad habits with good ones. They structure their lives in a way that sets them up for success. Another powerful method of self-reflection is meditation. When you sit in silence and observe your thoughts, you gain a deeper understanding of your mind. You start to notice the thought patterns that dominate your life. You become aware of the fears, doubts, and anxieties that influence your decisions. Meditation allows you to separate yourself from your thoughts. Instead of being controlled by them, you learn to observe them. You start to see that many of your worries and fears are just mental illusions. And when you recognize this, you gain the power to change them. Meditation helps you develop self-awareness, emotional control, and inner peace, all of which are essential for growth. Feedback is another crucial tool for self-reflection. Sometimes we are blind to our own flaws. We don't see ourselves the way others do. This is why seeking feedback from people you trust is invaluable. Honest feedback can reveal blind spots you were unaware of. It can help you see areas where you need to improve. But most people are too afraid of criticism. They don't want to hear negative feedback, so they avoid it. But the truth is, feedback is a gift. It gives you insights that you cannot get on your own. If you are serious about growing, you have to be open to constructive criticism. You have to be willing to listen, learn, and make changes based on what you hear. Self-reflection also involves analyzing your emotions. Many people go through life reacting to their emotions without ever questioning them. They let their anger, fear, or frustration dictate their actions. But when you practice self-reflection, you start to understand your emotions on a deeper level. You start asking, why do I feel this way? What triggered this emotion? Is this reaction serving me, or is it harming me? When you become more aware of your emotions, you gain control over them. You stop being reactive and start responding in a more thoughtful, intentional way. Growth is not about perfection, it's about progress. No one has everything figured out, No one is without flaws. The goal is not to be perfect, but to be better than you were yesterday. Self-reflection allows you to track that progress. It helps you see how far you've come and what you still need to work on. It keeps you accountable to yourself. It ensures that you are always evolving, always improving, and always moving forward. Many people resist self-reflection because it requires effort. It requires you to slow down in a fast-paced world. It requires you to face uncomfortable truths. It requires you to take responsibility for your life, instead of blaming external circumstances. But the people who commit to self-reflection are the ones who achieve true growth. They are the ones who break free from limitations, who develop self-mastery, and who create a life of purpose and success. If you want to transform your life, make self-reflection a daily habit. Set aside time each day to analyze your actions, your thoughts, and your progress. Ask yourself tough questions. Be honest with yourself. Challenge your beliefs. Examine your habits. Learn from your experiences. Seek feedback. Observe your emotions. And most importantly, use what you learn to make real changes. Growth is a lifelong journey. There is no final destination. There is always another level to reach, another lesson to learn, and another version of yourself to become. The key to unlocking that growth is self-reflection. The more you reflect, the more you evolve. The more you evolve, the more you create a life that aligns with your highest potential. Number 6, harness time management to maximize every moment. Time is the most valuable resource you will ever have. Unlike money, once time is gone, you can never get it back. Yet most people waste it without realizing its true worth. They let distractions steal their focus. They procrastinate, thinking they have more time than they actually do. They allow hours, days, even years to slip through their fingers without making real progress. The difference between those who achieve greatness and those who remain stuck is how they use their time. Those who master time management maximize every moment. They don't let a single second go to waste. They are intentional, disciplined, and focused on what truly matters. Most people don't fail because they lack talent or intelligence. They fail because they don't know how to manage their time. They allow their days to be consumed by unimportant tasks, unnecessary distractions, and endless procrastination. They spend hours scrolling through social media, watching TV, engaging in meaningless conversations, and postponing the work that could change their lives. They tell themselves they will start tomorrow, but tomorrow never comes. Success doesn't belong to those who wait. It belongs to those who use their time wisely. It belongs to those who take control of their schedules and make every second count. The first step to mastering time management is understanding that you are in control. No one else is responsible for how you spend your time. If you waste it, it's your fault. If you use it wisely, it's also your choice. The moment you take full responsibility for your time, you take full responsibility for your life. You stop making excuses. You stop blaming distractions. You stop waiting for the perfect moment. You realize that every second you waste is a second you will never get back. That realization alone should make you rethink how you use your time. One of the biggest reasons people struggle with time management is a lack of priorities. They don't know what's truly important. They jump from one task to another without a clear sense of direction. They try to do everything at once and end up accomplishing nothing. The key to effective time management is prioritization. Not everything deserves your attention. Not every task is worth your time. You must learn to separate what is urgent from what is important. You must identify the tasks that bring real results and eliminate everything that doesn't contribute to your progress. Successful people focus on what moves the needle. They don't waste time on things that don't matter. They are ruthless with their priorities because they know time is limited. The best way to prioritize your time is to plan your days in advance. If you wake up without a plan, you will spend your day reacting instead of taking control. You will be pulled in different directions, distracted by whatever demands your attention. But when you plan ahead, you take control of your schedule. You decide what you will focus on. You allocate time for what matters. You eliminate guesswork. Planning is what separates productive people from those who are always overwhelmed. A well-structured day leads to massive results. Time management is not about doing more. It's about doing what matters most. Many people think being busy means being productive, but that's not true. You can be busy all day and accomplish nothing of real value. The goal is not to fill your day with meaningless tasks. The goal is to focus on high-impact activities that bring real progress. That's why the most successful people follow the 80-20 rule. They understand that 20% of their efforts produce 80% of their results. They identify the few key tasks that create the most impact and eliminate everything else. They don't waste time on low-value activities. They focus on the actions that bring real success. One of the biggest time killers is distraction. We live in a world filled with endless distractions. Social media, notifications, emails, messages, entertainment. These distractions pull you away from what truly matters. They steal your focus, drain your energy, and keep you from making progress. If you don't control your distractions, they will control you. The most successful people create an environment that minimizes distractions. They turn off notifications, set clear boundaries, and create deep focus sessions where they work without interruption. They train their minds to concentrate fully on the task at hand. They understand that deep work leads to real results. Procrastination is another major enemy of time management. It's the habit of delaying what needs to be done. People procrastinate because they wait for motivation. They think they need to feel ready before they take action. But the truth is, motivation follows action. The more you wait, the harder it becomes to start. The only way to beat procrastination is to start immediately. The moment you feel resistance, take action. Even if it's a small step, it breaks the cycle of delay. Once you begin, momentum takes over. Successful people don't wait for the perfect moment. They create momentum by starting, even when they don't feel like it. A powerful technique for overcoming procrastination is time blocking. This method involves dedicating specific blocks of time to focused work. Instead of working randomly throughout the day, you assign time slots for important tasks. You decide in advance when you will work and eliminate all other distractions during that time. This approach keeps you disciplined and prevents you from getting sidetracked. When you set clear time blocks, you train your brain to focus deeply during those periods. You eliminate the habit of multitasking, which destroys productivity. You enter a state of deep concentration where real progress happens. One of the most effective ways to maximize time is to create systems. Systems allow you to automate repetitive tasks, streamline your workflow, and reduce decision fatigue. Instead of wasting time figuring out what to do next, you follow a proven structure. The most successful people don't rely on willpower alone. They rely on systems. They create routines that make productivity automatic. They develop habits that eliminate wasted effort. They simplify their lives so they can focus on what truly matters. When you build systems, you free up mental energy and increase efficiency. Another critical aspect of time management is learning to say no. Most people struggle with this because they want to please others. They say yes to every request, every invitation, and every demand on their time. But saying yes to everything means saying no to your own priorities. If you want to master time management, you must protect your time fiercely. You must learn to say no to anything that doesn't align with your goals. You must set clear boundaries and respect your own time. Successful people are not afraid to say no. They understand that every yes comes with a cost. They only say yes to what truly matters. Rest and recovery are also essential for effective time management. Many people believe that working non-stop leads to more productivity, but that's not true. Your brain and body need rest to function at their best. Without proper rest, your focus declines, your decision-making suffers, and your energy levels drop. The most productive people know when to push hard and when to recover. They schedule breaks, get enough sleep, and prioritize their well-being. They understand that working smarter is more effective than working longer. Managing time effectively also requires continuous self-discipline. Discipline is the ability to stick to your commitments, even when you don't feel like it. It's about doing what needs to be done, regardless of motivation. Without discipline, even the best time management strategies will fail. You must train yourself to stay consistent, to follow through, and to resist distractions. You must develop the habit of showing up every day, regardless of how you feel. Discipline is what separates those who achieve great things from those who never reach their potential. If you want to take full control of your life, you must take full control of your time. You must become intentional with every minute. You must eliminate distractions, prioritize what matters, and create systems that keep you on track. You must master the art of deep work, overcome procrastination, and protect your time fiercely. You must develop the discipline to stay focused, the courage to say no, and the wisdom to use your time in the most effective way possible. Because at the end of the day, how you spend your time determines the quality of your life. Maximize every moment, and you will maximize your success. Number 7, build confidence to take bold actions daily. Every action you take, every decision you make, and every risk you embrace shapes the level of confidence you carry. The difference between those who move forward and those who stay stuck is their ability to believe in themselves, even when the odds are against them. Confidence is the foundation of success because it gives you the courage to take bold actions, step outside your comfort zone, and create the life you truly want. Without confidence, hesitation takes over, opportunities slip away, and fear dictates your choices. But when you develop unshakable confidence, nothing can hold you back. You stop waiting for permission. You stop doubting your abilities. You stop living a life of hesitation and start living a life of action. Most people never reach their true potential because they let self-doubt control them. They tell themselves they are not good enough, not ready, not smart enough, or not capable. They overthink every move, second-guess their decisions, and fear what others will think. This hesitation keeps them trapped in the same cycle of inaction. But confidence is built through movement. The more you take action, the stronger your confidence becomes. The longer you wait, the weaker it gets. Every time you hesitate, you reinforce the belief that you are not capable. But every time you push forward, you strengthen the belief that you can handle anything. The only way to build confidence is to take action before you feel ready. People often assume that confidence comes from success, but the truth is, confidence comes from taking risks, despite the fear of failure. If you wait until you feel completely ready, you will never start. Confidence is developed by stepping into the unknown, facing discomfort, and proving to yourself that you can handle uncertainty. Every challenge you overcome, every fear you confront, and every small victory you achieve adds to your confidence. It's a muscle that grows with use. The more you practice courage, the stronger your confidence becomes. One of the biggest confidence killers is worrying about what others think. Too many people hold themselves back because they fear criticism, judgment, or rejection. They let the opinions of others dictate their actions. But here's the truth. No matter what you do, someone will always have something to say. You will never please everyone. Trying to live up to other people's expectations will only drain your confidence. The most successful and confident people do not seek approval. They trust their own judgment. They follow their own path. They know that other people's opinions have nothing to do with their abilities. Confidence comes from knowing that you don't need validation from anyone to take bold action. Another key to building confidence is embracing failure. Most people fear failure because they see it as a reflection of their worth. They think failing means they are not good enough. But failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of it. Every successful person has failed more times than they can count. The reason they are successful is that they did not let failure stop them. They used every setback as a lesson, every mistake as a stepping stone. Confidence comes from understanding that failure is not the end, but a necessary step toward growth. When you stop fearing failure, you unlock the ability to take bigger risks, move forward faster, and achieve more than you ever thought possible. Confidence is also built through preparation. When you invest in yourself, develop your skills, and put in the work, you naturally feel more capable. The more you know, the more confident you become. Athletes train for hours so that when the moment comes, they don't hesitate. Musicians practice relentlessly so that when they perform, they are ready. Confidence is not about faking it. It's about earning it. If you want to feel more confident in any area of life, commit to preparation. Study, practice, and improve every single day. When you know you've put in the work, doubt fades away. Taking control of your self-talk is another powerful way to build confidence. Your mind believes what you tell it repeatedly. If you constantly feed it thoughts of doubt, fear, and insecurity, your confidence will shrink. But if you start reinforcing positive, empowering beliefs, your confidence will grow. The way you speak to yourself matters. Instead of saying, I'm not good enough, say I am capable and I can figure this out. Instead of saying, what if I fail, say, what if I succeed? The words you repeat to yourself shape your reality. Confident people speak to themselves with power, certainty, and belief. They don't allow negative thoughts to dominate their minds. They program their brains for success by choosing empowering language. Your body language also plays a major role in confidence. The way you carry yourself affects the way you feel. If you walk with your head down, shoulders slouched, and a weak posture, your brain registers insecurity. But when you stand tall, hold your head high, and move with certainty, your brain registers confidence. Science has proven that body language influences your mindset. Adopting powerful, open, and strong body language sends signals to your brain that you are in control. Before any important moment, take a deep breath, straighten your posture, and step forward with authority. Your body can trick your mind into feeling more confident. And when you feel confident, you take bold action. Building confidence requires consistency. It's not something you do once, it's something you cultivate every single day. It's in the small decisions, choosing to speak up instead of staying silent, pushing yourself to take one more step when you want to quit, challenging yourself to do something new, even when it scares you. Confidence is a daily practice. You don't wake up one day overflowing with it. You build it moment by moment, choice by choice. Surrounding yourself with the right people is another important factor in building confidence. The people you spend time with influence your mindset. If you are surrounded by negative, fearful, and insecure individuals, their mindset will rub off on you. But if you surround yourself with confident, driven, and action-oriented people, their energy will inspire you. Confident people lift each other up. They push each other to grow. They encourage bold action. If you want to build confidence, be intentional about who you spend time with. Seek out those who challenge you to be better, who believe in you, even when you doubt yourself. Confidence also comes from taking responsibility for your life. When you blame circumstances, other people, or bad luck for your situation, you give away your power. But when you take full responsibility, you gain control. Confident people don't make excuses. They don't wait for someone to save them. They take action to change their lives. They know that confidence is not given, it's earned through effort, discipline, and persistence. The more you take action, the less fear controls you. Fear thrives in inaction. When you sit on the sidelines, fear grows stronger. But when you move forward, fear loses its grip. The only way to build the confidence to take bold actions daily is to start taking action now. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting until you feel ready. Start now, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's messy, even if you're scared. Confidence is built in the process of doing. The more you do, the more you prove to yourself that you are capable. If you want to transform your life, you must build the confidence to take bold actions daily. Stop playing small. Stop letting fear dictate your choices. Stop waiting for someone to give you permission. You are capable of more than you realize, but you will never know your full potential unless you step into it. Every great achievement begins with a bold decision. Every life-changing opportunity comes to those who are willing to take risks. Confidence is the key that unlocks doors you never imagined possible. Build it, strengthen it, and use it to take bold action every single day. Because the life you want is waiting, but only if you have the courage to go after it. Number 8. Learn problem solving to face obstacles head on. Life is filled with obstacles. No matter how prepared you think you are, challenges will always arise. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is the ability to solve problems effectively. Most people see obstacles as barriers that hold them back. They become frustrated, overwhelmed, or paralyzed by indecision. But the truth is, obstacles are not meant to stop you. They are opportunities to grow stronger, smarter, and more resilient. Every challenge you face has a solution. You just have to develop the mindset and skills to find it. The ability to solve problems is one of the most valuable skills you can develop because it gives you the power to navigate any situation with confidence. The first step to becoming a great problem solver is changing how you view problems. Most people react emotionally when they encounter obstacles. They panic, complain, or look for someone to blame. But emotions cloud judgment. They make problems seem bigger than they are. Instead of reacting emotionally, take a step back and approach the situation with a calm, logical mindset. Every problem has a cause, and every problem has a solution. The key is to focus on finding the solution rather than dwelling on the difficulty. One of the most effective ways to solve problems is to break them down into smaller parts. Big problems can feel overwhelming, but when you break them into smaller, manageable steps, they become easier to handle. Instead of thinking, "I don't know how to fix this," ask yourself, "What is the first step I can take right now?" Even the most complex problems can be solved by taking it one step at a time. When you focus on progress rather than perfection, you build momentum, and the solution becomes clearer. Another important aspect of problem solving is adaptability. The ability to adjust and pivot when things don't go as planned is essential. Many people get stuck because they insist on a single solution that isn't working. But if something isn't working, change your approach. There is always another way. The most successful people in the world are not those who avoid problems, but those who adapt quickly and find new ways to move forward. Being flexible in your thinking allows you to see possibilities that others miss. Critical thinking is another key component of problem solving. Instead of jumping to conclusions, take the time to analyze the situation from different angles. Ask yourself questions like, what is really causing this problem? What resources do I have to solve it? And what are the potential consequences of each solution? Thinking critically helps you make smarter decisions and avoid impulsive mistakes. The more you train your mind to think critically, the better you become at solving problems efficiently. One of the biggest mistakes people make when faced with obstacles is assuming they have to solve everything alone. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of intelligence. Sometimes, an outside perspective can provide insights that you may have overlooked. Seeking advice from people who have more experience, knowledge, or expertise can speed up the problem-solving process. Successful people are not afraid to ask for help because they understand that collaboration leads to better solutions. Confidence also plays a major role in problem solving. If you doubt your ability to handle challenges, you will hesitate, procrastinate, or avoid the problem altogether. But if you believe in your ability to figure things out, you will take action and find solutions. The best way to build confidence in problem solving is to practice it regularly. Face small challenges head on. Push yourself to find solutions in everyday situations. Over time, your confidence will grow, and you will trust yourself to handle bigger challenges with ease. Another powerful strategy for solving problems is changing your perspective. When you are too close to a problem, it can seem impossible to solve. But when you step back and look at it from a different angle, new solutions emerge. Sometimes, the best way to solve a problem is to take a break, clear your mind, and come back with a fresh perspective. Changing your environment, seeking new experiences, or learning from different fields can also spark creative solutions that you wouldn't have considered before. Taking responsibility for your problems is another crucial factor in developing strong problem-solving skills. Many people fall into the trap of blaming circumstances, other people, or bad luck for their difficulties. But blaming external factors does not solve anything. When you take full responsibility for finding a solution, you regain control. You stop making excuses and start looking for ways to move forward. Ownership is the foundation of effective problem solving because it shifts your focus from what you can't control to what you can. The ability to remain calm under pressure is another trait of great problem solvers. When faced with high-stress situations, most people panic, make rash decisions, or shut down. But the best problem solvers train themselves to stay composed. They understand that emotions can cloud judgment, so they practice remaining calm, assessing the situation rationally, and taking deliberate action. Developing emotional control is essential because it allows you to think clearly, even in the most difficult situations. Resourcefulness is also a critical skill in problem solving. Many people give up on finding solutions simply because they don't have an immediate answer. But resourceful people don't accept limitations. They find ways around them. They look for alternative methods, explore different strategies, and use whatever is available to their advantage. Resourcefulness is about being creative, thinking outside the box, and finding solutions where others see roadblocks. The more resourceful you become, the easier it is to overcome any challenge. Another powerful technique for solving problems is anticipating obstacles before they arise. Many challenges can be avoided or minimized by preparing in advance. Successful people don't wait for problems to catch them off guard. They plan ahead. They think about potential risks, develop backup plans, and stay ready to adapt. Being proactive instead of reactive gives you the advantage of staying ahead of problems rather than constantly putting out fires. Sometimes, the key to solving a problem is persistence. Many people give up too soon because they expect an immediate solution. But real problem solving takes time, effort, and perseverance. If one approach doesn't work, try another. If you fail, learn from it and keep going. The people who achieve the most in life are not those who never face obstacles, but those who refuse to quit until they find a way through. Developing a growth mindset is essential for mastering problem solving. A growth mindset means believing that you can improve and learn from every challenge. People with a fixed mindset see problems as proof of their limitations, but people with a growth mindset see problems as opportunities to grow. They embrace challenges, seek feedback, and continuously develop their skills. The more you adopt a growth mindset, the more confident and capable you become in solving any problem life throws your way. Problem solving is not just about fixing things when they go wrong. It's about constantly improving and optimizing everything you do. The best problem solvers don't just react to issues. They actively look for ways to make things better. They analyze processes, eliminate inefficiencies, and always seek to improve. When you develop a mindset of continuous improvement, you don't just solve problems, you prevent them from happening in the first place. The ability to solve problems effectively is one of the most valuable skills you can develop. It gives you the power to take control of your life, overcome challenges, and achieve your goals. Instead of seeing obstacles as roadblocks, see them as opportunities to become stronger and more capable. Every problem you solve builds your confidence, sharpens your mind, and prepares you for even bigger challenges. The more you practice problem solving, the more unstoppable you become. You have the ability to face any obstacle head on. You have the intelligence, the creativity, and the resilience to find solutions. Stop fearing problems. Stop avoiding challenges. Start embracing them. Start developing the mindset and skills that will allow you to handle anything life throws your way. The stronger your problem-solving ability, the more successful you will become. No situation will intimidate you. No obstacle will stop you, because you will know that no matter what happens, you have the ability to figure it out. Number 9. Strengthen adaptability to thrive in change. Change is inevitable. No matter how much you plan, how much you prepare, or how much you try to control the circumstances around you, change will always come. It doesn't ask for permission, and it doesn't wait until you're ready. It happens suddenly, unexpectedly, and often in ways you never imagined. Some people resist change, they fight against it, cling to the past, and struggle to let go of what was. But resistance only creates suffering. It keeps you stuck in a cycle of frustration and disappointment. The truth is, the people who succeed in life are not the ones who try to avoid change, but the ones who learn to adapt. The ability to adapt is the key to thriving in any situation, no matter how uncertain or challenging it may be. Most people fear change because it brings uncertainty. The mind craves stability, predictability, and control. When things shift, the mind panics because it doesn't know what will happen next. But instead of fearing the unknown, embrace it. Change is not your enemy. It is your greatest opportunity for growth. Every major breakthrough, every moment of transformation, and every step towards success happens because of change. Without it, life would be stagnant, progress would be impossible, and you would never become the person you are meant to be. To strengthen adaptability, you must train yourself to see change differently. Instead of resisting it, welcome it. Instead of focusing on what you're losing, focus on what you're gaining. Every change brings new possibilities, new perspectives, and new opportunities to learn. When you shift your mindset from fear to curiosity, change becomes exciting rather than terrifying. It becomes a chance to explore new paths, develop new skills, and discover strengths you never knew you had. Adaptability starts with letting go of attachment. People struggle with change because they hold on too tightly to how things used to be. They cling to old habits, outdated beliefs, and past experiences that no longer serve them. But holding on to the past only makes it harder to move forward. If you want to adapt, you must be willing to release what no longer aligns with your growth. That means letting go of old ways of thinking, breaking free from limiting patterns, and making space for new opportunities to enter your life. Flexibility is another crucial part of adaptability. Life doesn't always go according to plan. Unexpected obstacles, setbacks, and detours will arise. But the people who thrive are the ones who remain flexible and open-minded. When one path closes, they look for another. When things don't work out as expected, they adjust their approach. They don't waste time complaining or feeling sorry for themselves. They take action and find a way forward. Being flexible allows you to navigate uncertainty with confidence rather than fear. One of the biggest advantages of adaptability is resilience. Life will test you. It will push you out of your comfort zone, challenge your beliefs, and force you to grow in ways you never anticipated. If you resist change, you will break under pressure. But if you embrace it, you will become stronger. Every challenge you overcome, every change you navigate, and every setback you recover from builds resilience. It teaches you that no matter what happens, you have the strength to handle it. Developing adaptability also requires emotional control. When faced with change, most people react emotionally. They panic, get overwhelmed, or shut down. But emotions can cloud your judgment and make problems seem worse than they are. The key is to stay calm, think logically, and respond with clarity. Instead of letting emotions dictate your actions, step back and assess the situation objectively. Ask yourself, what is the best course of action? What can I learn from this? And how can I use this change to my advantage? The more control you have over your emotions, the easier it is to adapt to any situation. Another important aspect of adaptability is a willingness to learn. Change often requires new skills, new perspectives, and new ways of thinking. The people who adapt the fastest are the ones who are always learning. They seek out knowledge, stay open to new ideas, and constantly challenge themselves to grow. When you develop a mindset of continuous learning, change becomes an opportunity rather than a threat. You see it as a chance to expand your capabilities, improve yourself, and take on new challenges with confidence. The ability to embrace uncertainty is also essential for adaptability. Most people struggle with change because they fear the unknown. They want guarantees, clear answers, and a roadmap for success. But life doesn't work that way. The most successful people understand that uncertainty is a part of growth. They don't wait for perfect conditions or absolute certainty before taking action. They move forward despite the unknown, trusting in their ability to figure things out along the way. When you learn to be comfortable with uncertainty, you become unstoppable. Adaptability also means being proactive rather than reactive. Instead of waiting for change to force you into action, take the initiative to prepare for it. Stay ahead of trends, anticipate challenges, and always be ready to adjust your approach. Successful people don't sit back and hope things stay the same. They stay ready for whatever comes next. They keep their skills sharp, stay informed, and remain open to new opportunities. The more proactive you are, the easier it is to navigate change with confidence. One of the most powerful ways to strengthen adaptability is to expose yourself to new experiences. Many people struggle with change because they live in a comfort zone. They stick to familiar routines, surround themselves with the same people, and avoid anything that feels unfamiliar. But the more you expose yourself to new situations, the more adaptable you become. Travel to new places, try different activities, meet people from diverse backgrounds, and challenge yourself to step outside of what feels comfortable. The more experiences you have, the better you become at handling change. Problem solving is another critical skill in adaptability. Change often brings challenges that require quick thinking and creative solutions. Instead of seeing obstacles as roadblocks, view them as puzzles waiting to be solved. Develop the habit of looking for solutions rather than focusing on problems. Train your mind to think critically, explore different options, and approach challenges with a sense of curiosity rather than frustration. The better you become at problem solving, the more confident you will be in navigating change. Your environment plays a major role in your ability to adapt. If you surround yourself with people who resist change, complain about challenges, and fear uncertainty, their mindset will influence you. But if you surround yourself with people who embrace growth, take risks, and thrive in change, their mindset will inspire you to do the same. Choose to be around people who push you forward, challenge your thinking, and encourage you to step outside of your comfort zone. Your environment shapes your mindset, so make sure it supports your ability to adapt. Taking responsibility for your own growth is another essential factor in adaptability. Many people make the mistake of blaming external circumstances for their struggles. They blame the economy, their job, their past, or other people for why they can't move forward. But the truth is, no matter what happens around you, you are responsible for how you respond. Taking ownership of your growth means refusing to be a victim of change and instead becoming the creator of your own future. When you take responsibility, you regain control, and no change can shake you. Fear of failure is one of the biggest reasons people resist change. They worry that if they try something new, they might fail, look foolish, or make mistakes. But failure is not the opposite of success. It is a necessary part of it. The most adaptable people understand that failure is a learning experience. Every mistake, setback, and challenge is an opportunity to grow stronger, smarter, and more capable. When you stop fearing failure, you open yourself up to endless possibilities. The ability to embrace change is what separates those who succeed from those who struggle. Life will never stay the same. Circumstances will shift, challenges will arise, and the world will keep evolving. But when you develop the ability to adapt, nothing can stop you. You will no longer be controlled by fear, uncertainty, or setbacks. You will move forward with confidence, no matter what happens. Strengthening your adaptability is not just about surviving change, it's about thriving in it. It's about becoming the kind of person who can handle anything, rise above any challenge, and turn every change into an opportunity for success. You have the power to adapt, to grow, and to thrive in any situation. Stop resisting change. Stop fearing the unknown. Start embracing the limitless possibilities that come with adaptability. The stronger your ability to adapt, the more unstoppable you become. No matter what life throws your way, you will rise above it, adjust, and keep moving forward. Because when you master adaptability, nothing can hold you back. Number 10, prioritize consistency to achieve long-term success. In the world of instant gratification, it can be tempting to look for quick fixes, shortcuts, or immediate results. But the truth is, those who achieve long-term success are not the ones who look for shortcuts. They are the ones who show up every day, do the work, and never quit, regardless of how slow the progress may seem. Success doesn't come from sporadic bursts of effort. It comes from steady, continuous action over time. One of the keys to success is understanding that consistency is not about perfection. It's about showing up consistently and making incremental improvements every day. It's about creating habits that support your goals, even when motivation fades and challenges arise. The most successful people understand that the road to achieving anything meaningful isn't always smooth or exciting. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment to start or for things to align perfectly. It's about getting up every single day and continuing to move forward. At its core, consistency is about discipline. It's the ability to stay committed to your goals, even when you don't feel like it. It's the ability to do the work, even when it's hard. It's about building habits that support your vision and being unwilling to let distractions or setbacks knock you off course. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to keep moving forward. The first step in building consistency is developing a routine. The most successful people understand that success isn't the result of one-off efforts or bursts of productivity. It's the result of consistent actions taken over time. And the easiest way to ensure consistency is to build a routine that supports your goals. Your routine is the framework upon which consistency thrives. If you wake up every morning with a set plan of action, whether it's exercising, working on your personal development, or pushing toward your career goals, you've already won half the battle. Your routine is like a blueprint for your success, guiding your actions each day and making sure you don't veer off track. A well-structured routine removes the need to rely on motivation. Motivation is a powerful force, but it's also unreliable. Some days you'll feel motivated and ready to conquer the world. Other days you'll struggle to get out of bed. But when you have a consistent routine, you don't need to rely on motivation. You just do what needs to be done, because it's become a part of your daily life. The power of consistency is that it takes the decision-making out of the equation. When you show up every day, your routine becomes automatic, and you don't have to spend time debating whether you feel like working today. You simply do it. One of the most important aspects of consistency is understanding that small actions compound over time. You may not see immediate results, and that can be discouraging. But don't let that stop you. The key to success is understanding that every small action you take today builds on the actions you took yesterday. Over time, these small steps lead to massive results. If you want to build a successful business, it's not about making one big sale or having one great idea. It's about showing up every day and doing the work, whether that's making a call, writing a blog post, or building relationships. The little things you do every day add up. Many people make the mistake of expecting instant results. They want to see massive changes overnight. And when that doesn't happen, they give up. But success rarely happens quickly. It's the result of persistent, daily effort. The more you stay consistent, the more you start to see the fruits of your labor. But even if you don't see immediate results, don't stop. Trust that the actions you're taking are leading you toward your goals, even if you can't see it yet. Every time you show up, you are laying the foundation for something great. Another crucial aspect of consistency is the ability to stay disciplined in the face of obstacles. Life is full of challenges, unexpected setbacks, difficult situations, and moments of self-doubt. It's easy to get discouraged when things don't go as planned, but the key to overcoming these challenges is not to give up, but to keep going. Consistency is about pushing through the hard times, staying focused on the bigger picture, and continuing to do the work, even when you don't feel like it. The most successful people are not the ones who avoid obstacles. They're the ones who face them head-on and keep moving forward, no matter how difficult it may seem. It's also important to recognize that consistency doesn't mean doing the same thing every day without ever adjusting. Flexibility is an important part of consistency. It's about finding what works best for you and sticking with it. But it's also about being willing to make changes when necessary. If something isn't working, be willing to adjust your approach. If a certain strategy isn't producing results, don't be afraid to try something new. Consistency is about staying committed to your goals, but it's also about being open to improvement and change. It's about finding the right balance between sticking to your routine and adapting to new circumstances. Another powerful aspect of consistency is the power of momentum. The more consistent you are, the more momentum you build. Momentum is like a snowball rolling down a hill. It starts slow, but the more it rolls, the bigger and faster it gets. When you make consistent progress toward your goals, you build momentum that propels you forward. This momentum makes it easier to keep going, even when things get tough. It's like a snowball effect. The more consistent actions you take, the more progress you make, and the easier it becomes to continue pushing forward. But to build momentum, you need to be patient. Success doesn't happen overnight, and neither does momentum. It takes time to build a solid foundation. It's important to understand that even if you're not seeing immediate results, you are building momentum every time you show up and do the work. Trust the process and keep going, even when the progress seems slow. Consistency also requires self-accountability. The best way to ensure that you stay consistent is to hold yourself accountable for your actions. This means setting clear goals, tracking your progress, and making sure you're staying on course. It's easy to get sidetracked or distracted, but when you hold yourself accountable, you're more likely to stay focused on what truly matters. If you fall off track, don't beat yourself up. Just refocus and get back to your routine. Self-accountability helps you stay committed to your goals and ensures that you're making progress every day. Consistency is the bridge between goals and achievement. Without consistency, even the best plans or ideas are useless. It's the daily effort, the small steps, and the steady progress that ultimately lead to success. Success is not about grand gestures or dramatic changes. It's about doing the work, day after day, regardless of how difficult or tedious it may seem. So if you want to achieve long-term success, focus on building habits that support your goals. Prioritize consistency above all else, and trust that the small actions you take every day will lead to big results over time. Success is not an overnight achievement. It's the result of consistent, focused effort, and when you commit to that effort, you will inevitably reach your destination.